Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to another day and another lesson. Today we're going to be learning about moving energy and moving our energy with moving our bodies. So, as usual, I'm going to go right to my slides here. It's going to be a little fun today because not only will I be talking and showing you slides, I will also be showing you and embarrassing myself a little, but that's okay. I do it for you. I do it for you guys. So it's, just showing you some of the stuff. It's a little different when you know people are watching, but that's okay. Okay, so moving energy with movement. I made my slides like move because I want you to get that feeling of movement. And when we move energy, when we move our bodies, we're moving energy. Okay. So, you're doing the aura cleansing program and you want to figure out how to move out any dark energy, right? We've been learning a lot about it, but you're maybe wondering why that negative energy stuck around in the first place. I have my camera set up weird because I want it zoomed out so I can show you when I get up to show you some things, you'll be able to see me. So that's why my head's cut off and stuff. But back to the point. So why does energy stick around? So simply it's because we allow it to, right? It's been drilled into our heads that we're supposed to release the negative energy and then keep the positive energy. But positive and negative titles and labels, those are simply just titles and labels. There actually is no positive energy and good energy. Energy is energy. And when we label it and when we put value on it and when we put a story or judgment on that energy, that's when it becomes either positive or negative, right? The energy that comes through us, we can either resonate with it, which means, oh, okay, I feel good with that. That feels in alignment with me, or it can be disresonant, which means it doesn't feel good. Oh, I don't like this. I want it to be gone, right? So energy is neutral. We are the ones that put the value of positive or negative on that energy, because some energy that feels good to one person might not feel good to another person. The feeling of excitement is actually very similar to the feeling of fear. It's the same feeling, you get the same side effects, but we then we look at the story of what's going on and we decide, oh, this is actually fear because we know what's going along with it, right? Where that same feeling of excitement feels a lot like fear, but we look at that story like, well, I shouldn't be afraid of this. I should be happy about this. So, okay, it's going to be a positive feeling, right? Even though it's the same feeling. So we are the ones that put it on there, and everybody can feel different about different energy, right? You walk into a room, it might feel really good to someone, and that same energy in the room might feel really gross to someone else. Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out, because as we decide what energy we want to move through us, we've got to decide whether it resonates with us or if it doesn't resonate and we want it to move through and out, right? So 3 things to keep in mind about energy that will help you move through it with more ease. Some of these things around here. So energy has no will of its own, right? It doesn't decide, oh, I'm going to go here and I'm going to go there. We actually command it where to go. We are in charge of moving energy. Energy cannot stick to you without your permission. And energy actually energy sticks or gets stuck because our ego is telling us a story about it, where it came from, why it's here, and how it's probably our fault. The key to stopping that the key is to stop telling the story to ourselves. Stop letting the energy be stuck. and then just allow ourselves to feel it without giving a label and judgment, and just let it move through. It's when we actually decide that that energy is part of us, that it sticks. So when we think, that's my story, this is my story, I'm a victim, or this is my story, I'm, whatever, we are allowing it to stay. And our ego, for some reason, needs that energy to feel validated, to feel maybe an excuse or some acceptance, or maybe, whatever it is, we are actually the ones that are allowing it to stick, which is a hard truth, because I know I've had a lot of heavy things happen that I just kind of felt like I really needed to release and let go and all of that. And I thought I had to do all the work, which we've been doing, right? But really, ultimately, it was hard to hear that it was there because I let it. But then when we accept that truth, then we can finally also make the choice to let that energy move through us. So, all right. So our body is a conductor of energy. Energy by nature is always moving, right? And so our body helps conduct and move that energy. Energy does not belong to you. It's not like when people say, oh, you have a really happy energy, or you have a really powerful energy. It's not your energy. It's just channeling through you, okay? The energy of the sun, the energy from what we eat, it's all brought into our system, processes through, and then leaves. We send it out in so many different ways, whether it's yawning, crying, coughing, talking, even just sitting still. Our body's always vibrating, right? And so the energy channels through us. But when we say phrases like, I am sad, or I am, okay, let me start over. When we say things like, I am sad, instead of saying, I am feeling the vibration of sadness, right? That's when we say, I am sad, it's like we're taking that energy on, and we're like, oh, this is me, I am sad. And really, when we talk like that, those words have power, and we are choosing to keep that sad, stuck energy stuck to us, okay? But if we can realize that we are in control of energy, and we can let things move and through us, we can say, I'm feeling the vibration of sadness. It's different than taking it on as our own. It's just like, you know what? This feeling of sadness is moving through me right now, and it hurts a little bit. Then when we do that, it shows us that we have a choice in what we keep in our field and what we don't. And when we say, I am sad, we reinforce our lack of control. We're like proving to ourselves and telling ourselves that we don't have control over this sadness. It's just the way I am. I'm just sad. And that's proving to ourselves and reinforcing that lack of control of what we allow in our field and what stays. So we want to keep telling ourselves that we are in control of energy, and we do get to move it. We are powerful, and we get to move energy out of us, through us, into us, however we want. So there are a lot of great ways to move energy. And so I've listed a few here. Moving your body is the number one we're going to talk about today, because the other things like cursing, swearing, it's amazing how that can really help you move some energy. So, not everyone wants to swear, likes to swear, and I'm not saying you should just swear for no reason, but when we are able to curse and just really like let something out, it lets it out. The energy gets to move instead of holding it in and using words like, I flippin' don't like this gosh dang thing. It feels like we're trying to restrain what we really want to say. And so being able to just say whatever we want, and if it's a curse word, then so be it. Okay. Another way to move energy is to punch and kick things. If you've got a pillow or your bed, or if you have a kickboxing bag or something like that, it's a great way to move energy through you, because you're moving your body, but then you're also allowing some big movements, some forceful movements, and some anger to move through you as well. And then by now you've hopefully done some breath work with me where we scream during the breath work, but screaming is a great way to move energy. It's not even when you're just mad, but like frustration and grief and excitement. There's so many different energies that can move through us when we scream. And then laughing. I know you guys know how that feels after a good laugh. You just feel like so relaxed, right? And just lit up. So laughing is a great way to move energy. And then crying. I know after I have cry, I just feel so much better because I've released what was bottled up inside of me. I released any sadness, frustration, grief. So all of those things I didn't feel like we needed a tutorial on. You guys know how to swear if you want. You know how to punch. You know how to scream. You know how to laugh. You know how to cry. But what I did want to talk about is the movement of your body. So movement, why movement is important and why movement actually moves energy. If we think of it on a scientific level or a physiological level, our blood carries energy in our body. Our blood carries oxygen, right? Our blood carries the nutrients from the food that we eat. So the food we eat has tons of different vitamins and minerals, and they have protein, carbs, and fats. And that's all energy. Those calories that we are eating are actually energy. And our body breaks it down, and then it gets transported through our body by our blood. And it goes into every cell of our body, goes through our nerves, our motor neurons, it goes to our brains and muscles and all of our organs. Okay, so our blood is transporting healing nutrients while removing waste and nerves and waste, and the nerves deliver communication between our body and brain. So the energy is constantly moving, right, through our body one way or another, and it's a good thing. But when that energy is blocked for some reason, then that's when diseases develop. When I do these energy readings that with the biofeedback hand sensor, it can tell if any chakras are out of vibration, if they're sending the wrong vibration than what they're supposed to, or if they are blocked for some reason, if those energy centers are blocked, then it can show up on the diagram when we do the report. And it's like without fail, every single time when I see a blockage of energy in a chakra, I talk to the person and I say, okay, anytime we have a blockage, a disease in that area could come up. So with like sacral down in our low belly area and our pelvic area, it's common if there's a blockage there to start getting bladder infections, to get some low back pain, to deal with some of reproductive issues down there. And it's like without fail, when I bring up that they have a blockage there and that they might have an issue there, they're like, oh yeah, I've been dealing with bladder infections for 3 years, or oh yeah, I've been getting this low back pain lately, or I tore a muscle down there a week ago. And so same thing with whatever chakra that we see a blockage in, there usually is a physical manifestation of that blockage. So it's a big deal. We don't want energy to get stuck. It has to keep moving. Okay. So stress and tension are major roadblocks to energy movement in our body. So I want you to just pause for a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just notice if there's any area in your body that's achy or gets injured frequently, or that you're just most likely to be tense in that area. Like literal, the muscles are a little tighter there than anywhere else. What part of your body is that? a lot of people will carry stress in their shoulders, and their shoulders are naturally tight. Like I know my 14-year-old, if I just barely touch his shoulders, they're just so tight. And he's like, ow, ow, ow. I'm like, I didn't even touch you. Well, I touched him, but like I didn't dig. And he just naturally carries his stress and tension in his shoulders. For me, I carry it in my hips. And so my hips get really achy. And if I'm in an uncomfortable situation, or a lot of times when I'm teaching breathwork classes, I'll feel a lot of, just tightness, achiness in my hips. It's where I seem to like carry, right, that tension. That's where energy gets stuck on me. But it could be anywhere for you. But just think about what area gets tense for you. For another example is I used to get left pain in my left knee. Like when I was running track all the time, it was just always a problem. I actually went to a lot of physical therapy and did massage on it. And it was just a constant problem. And I couldn't figure out what was causing it, right? I'm like, hey, I've been doing all this work. I changed some of my routines and my shoes with my track team, and it didn't seem to go away. But one day while driving my car, which was a stick shift, I noticed that I kept my left knee tensed, just waiting to use the clutch, right? So it's just like I always had it just tense. And when you tense up like that, it blocks energy. So I consciously made the effort to keep my left leg relaxed when I was driving. And within days, my knee was totally healed just by letting the energy move, right? So this is why it's important to let energy move through our body, and why exercise and movement is important. So when we move our body, we increase the blood flow and nerve development. We just talked about how important that blood flow is in moving energy through our body. So motion is potion. Keep moving, right? Even in like physical therapy, and if you go, have a surgery, the doctors, the orthopedics, the physical therapists, they will all tell you motion is potion. Do not sit still. Keep moving so that you can heal this, problem area. I recently, it's been since spring break, but so been over 6 months. Anyway, I had a fall and I broke a rib and tore a bunch of muscles in my shoulder. And I just knew, because, I used to work with physical therapy and chiropractors back in the day, that motion is potion. And so I've just been doing so much movement. I went to work and kept shoveling, and I went golfing, and that swing, like the first swing I did, just made it feel so much better. It like opened everything back up that was blocked. So motion is potion. So for you to be able to move energy, I want you to do whatever movement or exercise feels good for you. Everybody likes something different. You can walk, you can run, you can lift weights, you can play team sports, you can play individual sports, you can dance, you can go trail running, you can go hiking, you can go snowshoeing, you can go mountain biking, you can do jiu-jitsu, you can do tai chi, you can do yoga, you can do Zumba, you can do high fitness, you can do jazzercise, whatever you like to do that moves your body, do it. This is, if you've been looking for a sign to start exercising, and, so many times people talk about exercise being all about looking hot, getting sexy, getting skinny. Like, no, this is not why we move our bodies. We move our bodies so that the energy can move through us. We move our bodies so we can be healthy, so we can have longevity and a long, healthy life that is full of quality, because we can do whatever we want to do. We're capable. So that is why we move our bodies. That is why we exercise. So if you were looking for a sign to get exercising again and putting that back into your daily and weekly routine, this is it. Okay. Motion is potion. Get your body going. So that being said, there are some proven and healing ways to move your body that really help move through all your chakra systems. Okay. And when we just go for a walk, it's very linear. We're not like moving side to side. We're not moving circularly. And so we're not using every single joint in every single way and letting that blood flow through everything. It will help a lot, but it's not as beneficial, right? Good, better, best. So I have listed a few things that have been proven to really, really help energy move through your body. But so I'm going to teach them to you, but I don't want you to feel like you're limited to these 4 things. I want you to start moving your body no matter what way. Before I got into breath work and on aura readings and energy readings, I was a personal trainer and nutritionist. And so I've been teaching people to move their bodies for years. But like I said, so just do whatever, add something into your weekly routine now. And I do want you to try these 4 things and see if there's something you like. And if you enjoy them, you don't have to do them every day or every week. But when you notice that you have some stuck energy, it would be great for you to just try one of these 4 things I'm going to teach you about, which are breath work, you've already learned, Kundalini Yoga, shaking, and ecstatic dance. Okay. So I'm going to go through each one of those, and then I want you to try them at least once. Okay, so the very first one is ecstatic dance. So ecstatic dance is basically just dancing that brings ecstasy to your soul. That's why it's called ecstatic dance. It's just really opening up that joy and happiness and letting it enter your soul. So there's no choreography. There's dances with choreography and like specific ways and positions and specific ways to do things. I'm not a dancer, so I don't necessarily know the lingo of that, but that kind of dance is great for movement, and it is so very helpful in many ways. But it kind of puts us in a box. It's very limiting, right? It's like, okay, this is the way you move, and if you feel like you need to move a different way, it's not as cohesive, like it doesn't fit in that style of dance, right? So ecstatic dance, you get to move however you want, right? You just move totally free. There's no pre-planned movement. You just don't worry about what anyone's thinking or if they're judging you. You just move your body like a free expression, your very own expression to the music that you're hearing or what your body's feeling needs to move. As you're doing it, it's helpful to think of each chakra, through up your spine area. Think of each chakra and try and move the energy through each one. And then think about every little joint in your body. Try and move every single joint. Open up and expand your body instead of dancing like this. It's just like open up. And I already said it's your own expression. It's helpful to use loud music that's thumping and has good bass, and maybe some of those indigenous noises and beats. It makes you want to really just move your body and have more energy, okay? And then the last but not least thing is closing your eyes helps, because then you're not worried about what you look like or if anyone's looking at you or judging you. And if it's not safe to close your eyes completely, if you're not in a nice clear room or if there's lots of people, like if you go to an ecstatic dance, then what you kind of do is like lightly close them. So I don't know if you can see, but it's like, I can't really, it's like I'm looking through my eyelashes at you, right? Like they're mostly closed. You can't really see what's going on, but they're open enough. You're going to know if you're going to crash into something or someone. Okay. So this is the part I was talking about where I may embarrass myself a little. I'm going to turn on the music. Oh, we don't want to talk about yoga yet. Let's see, stop share. Okay, I'm not sure if you can hear my music. I'm just going to make sure that I'm sharing it. Advanced sharing. Computer audio. There we go. Moving our body however you want. Okay. So I stopped sharing my, now I'm all winded and I feel good. I feel like my body moved. Feels really good. So there we go. Back to the slides. So the thing that I love about ecstatic dance is, like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. You can see, like, I didn't look like a professional dancer at all, but I got to move my body however I felt it needed. And when I teach breath work in the groups, I actually do a lot of that because I tend to pull in everyone's energy, and sometimes it gets a little heavy in there. And so I have to like shake it off and move and transmute that energy. So you'll notice, or when you're watching, you'll maybe noticed that I try to like move my legs, like there was some stomping and jumping, right? And then I like make sure to really sway my hips, because that's where I stick it, let my energy get stuck. And so I move and sway my hips to really break it up and move it out. And then once it's through there, I kind of move up, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna move my torso now, then my chest, and then my arms, and then my neck, you know. And you don't have to do that. That's just what I like, because it, to me, it feels like I'm moving that energy up and out from like the root chakra on up. So you can do it however you'd like. But yeah, ecstatic dance, it just means have fun. There are a lot of ecstatic dance places. Like, I know where I'm at in Utah, I think there's like 3 places a week that I've known of people going and doing ecstatic dances as a group. And they just have an awesome DJ who plays, you know, really good, clean music, and you just get to move. And it's known that, you know, it's not somewhere that you're going to go pick up on people, and you're not trying to dance to look sexy or to look cool. It's known for healing. It's known to just be free. And when you're in a group, you do tend to kind of pick up on everyone else's energy. And so it's really fun, but it's also really fun to do at home. Spotify has multiple ecstatic dance playlists. And who else? You can Google ecstatic dance playlists as well. Okay, so give it a try. Okay, we're going to move on. The next thing that is really good for Kundalini, for moving energy, is Kundalini Yoga. This is why I got into breathwork, was this type of yoga. I started doing yoga with my sister-in-law at the time, and she was great and wonderful. Her classes were amazing, and I'd always leave the class feeling like I had just had a good cry, like I felt the energy move, and things were hard. Like I was in a bad relationship and things were a little stressful and tough at the moment. And after this Kundalini yoga, I would always just feel so much better. I would feel like I'd move things, I'd process things, and I was addicted. And then when I wasn't really able to go to her classes anymore because of the divorce and everything, I was like, okay, I've got to find that again. And I had done so much yoga. I was a personal trainer, right? So I'd done lots of physical yoga, hatha yoga, yoga that's in all the gyms. And I knew, I was like, it's not the yoga, it's not the movement, it's not the poses, it's not the stretches, which those things are all good, but I just was like, there's something more to it. Well, this yoga, Kundalini yoga, they also do, or Sattva yoga is what she was trained in, but this is Kundalini is what you would Google if you wanted to find the right types of yoga. But they include breath work with the movement and stretches and some meditation. So it's really combining a lot of really good healing modalities into one session. And I love it. You will feel so good after. I'm not going to give you a tutorial because I am not a yogi. I love it, but taking you through a whole session would be a whole nother video. So I just linked some of my favorite yogi teachers and videos that you can just find on YouTube. You can Google a whole bunch more if you just want to type in beginner Kundalini yoga, search what you want. But there are 2 links there for really good beginner teachers as well. Okay, now the next thing is shaking. I kind of naturally do a little bit of shaking when I do my ecstatic dance, just because it feels right. It feels like I need to shake it off. But shaking is really, really beneficial for moving energy. You'll notice, so shaking has been proven to help regulate a stress nervous system. When I do those energy readings with my biofeedback hand sensor, there's a spot that shows your nervous system and how stressed it is or how relaxed it is. And I would say 90% of the people's that I've done, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of people readings, right? I would say that 90% of them have a stressed out nervous system. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, they're like halfway. They're like at a 5 or 3 or 2. Most people, just because of the society that we live in, it's go, 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 it's hustle, hustle, it's stress and relationship stress. And most of us have dealt with some sort of trauma or another. We're eating foods that are not good for us and stressing out our nervous system because our body doesn't quite know what to do with it. Anyway, so most of us need to regulate our nervous system, okay? And shaking has been proven to help regulate a stress nervous system and to move energy. So in the little background picture you see here, there's a picture of a dog. Think about it. Have you ever seen a dog shake off after something scary or exciting? Not just when they get wet, but like they, see something scary and they're barking at it. And then once the scary thing has passed, you'll see the dog just like shake it off, right? It's because it's natural instinct to shake it off. You'll notice when your arm goes to sleep, or your leg goes to sleep, you're like, oh, okay, get it. And you kind of like, shake it to kind of move that energy again and bring the flow of blood and nerves back to normal, right? So we just naturally will shake. So as part of a way of moving energy, I want you guys to try shaking when you feel tense or something's uncomfortable, or you just feel the energy in the room is leaching onto you. You know, we've talked about like doing protective bubbles and stuff, but if you feel like that energy is leaching onto you and feels stuck, try shaking. Okay. You just do it. There's no rules, there's no classes. I have seen some YouTubes and tutorials on how to shake online, but honestly, it's not hard. You just try to shake everything and every cell in your body. Okay, so I'm going to give you like a 2-second tutorial here. So let's go back to stop sharing screen. Okay, back up here. So when we shake our body, I like to start at the bottom up, just like when I'm doing my ecstatic dance. It's fun to put on some music if you'd like. So I am going to put on some music. Moving on to homework here. Okay. I'm just going to turn on that same music I had a second ago. I don't know if I can hear it yet. There we go. Okay, sorry about the pausing. Okay, so we're gonna start with our legs first, just to kind of help move the energy up and out, right? So we'll just stand, and if you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. I'm gonna hold on to my bookcase here, but you're just gonna stand and just shake your leg in all different directions. Make sure you get your feet and your ankles, shake it on out. And your other one. Then same thing, we're just gonna like shake them together. And what I'm doing here is I'm literally like shaking my booty, okay? So shake it out. Then move on up. Right? Just shake it off. And you'll notice, let me turn off my music. Where'd I go? There we go. So you'll notice that after you just shake it off, you do feel better. You feel like everything's moved. And just because I showed you to like start at the bottom and move up, doesn't mean you have to. Most of the time when I feel like that's literally, you just kind of like shake it off like that. It's that simple. You don't have to do a full body shake. You don't have to draw attention to yourself. But yeah, I often will just be like, kind of just like, you know, just that simple. You don't have to do a big whole shaking routine. If you want to, though, it helps because you can really move a lot of stuff if you shake for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Just keep shaking and just keep shaking. Afterward, you'll feel like you just had a good cry. You'll feel like things have moved and processed. It's really good. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the notes here. Okay, so you understand shaking. It's not too hard. You got it. So the very last page of our notes today is your homework page. So what I want you to do for your homework is try one of these things. You've already done some breath work by now, I'm sure. So try ecstatic dance once, try Kundalini Yoga once, try shaking once, and then just see what you like. For either of those three, you can Google or YouTube and follow along with a class or a tutorial, or you can also Google or check Facebook events for a class or a dance near you, okay? Facebook events, you'll definitely find ecstatic dance. You'll definitely find some Kundalini Yoga. But if you don't want to leave your home, just do a class online. Okay. Google and YouTube are going to help you with that as well. And then shaking, you can just kind of do it on your own. You don't need a class for that. But like I said, there are some YouTube videos on it if you'd like more on that. Okay, so I want you to just try all three of those at least once. And then once you've tried them once, I want you to decide what kind of movement you are going to add into your daily and weekly routine. Okay, maybe it's you just shake every morning when you wake up. It takes 30 seconds, right? It could be that simple. Or it could be you're going to shake every morning, but then you're also going to go running 2 times a week, or you're going to start lifting weights 2 or 3 times a week. Okay. I don't care what kind of movement you add in. Add in whatever you love. I don't want you to have this rigorous fitness program unless that's something that you already want on your own. I just want you to move your body. Okay. I just want you to start letting energy move through you through movement. All right. Okay. So once you're done, once you've tried all three and you know what you're going to do with your fitness and movement routine, message me because I love hearing from you guys and let me know what form of movement you're going to use. Okay. Have a great time. Thanks for watching me shake and dance. And I hope that you get to try it and love it. Okay. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.